What's up, everybody? I am Snickenhoff, and on this episode, a group of plucky young rebels works to overthrow the evil empire, led by their heroes Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia. And I'm getting my franchises confused. We're playing Spain today, and we're trying to become the Emperor, and we're so close. We have 4 votes, and Brandenburg lost a vote to Austria, so that's even better. We could lose a vote and still become the Emperor at this point. We just need this guy to die. He's 37, and I wish no death on anyone. Not to mention an early death at the ripe old age of 37. But like, if Wilhelm Frederick could go ahead and croak, that would be great. But until then, we're just gonna wait. We are just gonna wait. We had a ruler die at like 30. Then our other 34-year-old become ruler, and thankfully our heir is male, so we don't have to deal with that. Let's take an idea real quick. We're gonna lower our land maintenance cost, which is fantastic, and we can either get for 10 years corruption plus 0.1 or 2 inflation. What's our inflation look like right now? It's above 5, and I kind of want it to stay below 5. You can get some bad events when it's above 5. As a matter of fact, this event right here is probably because our inflation is above 5. So we're not going to take the extra inflation. We're going to take the corruption and just make sure we are paying it down enough for it to not matter. And that means I lose a hair bit of money, so I'm going to drop that down. And I'm also going to mothball my forts. I have 14 forts, and I definitely don't need all of them. For instance, I have a fort here, a fort here, and a fort here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these 2 forts. It can be like, generally when you're playing against the computer, you can just delete all your forts. Most of the time you'll be able to just go in and attack them. I don't like doing that. I try not to do too many exploits on the game. I try to play it straight up. That's just me. If you enjoy min-maxing and exploiting the crap out of the game, you go for it. But I try to at least play it. I try to act like some of the game mechanics matter, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're just gonna keep on rolling here. Still have the vote. I'm so scared that I'm gonna lose the vote. Brandenburg is currently losing their war, it looks like, they're losing to Magdeburg. Who is Magdeburg fighting? Are they just fighting? They're just fighting Brandenburg. This little one province minor, just like, bring it on, Emperor. You're mine now. And it's currently winning. Lubeck is being sieged down by Denmark, which I can check and see what the goal of that war is. Current wars. Maybe it's not here. It's relations. Current wars. Magdeburgian purge of Burgundian heresy and Danish conquest of Lubeck. So yeah, Denmark declared over Lubeck. Denmark now has the war goal, so they're going to have a ticking war score. Also, when I was bringing up my leader earlier, I wanted to show you how little he lived, because you can actually look that up in the handy-dandy ledger. Current rulers, previous rulers. So, where is it at? Wasn't it Philippe? Yeah, Philippe. He ruled from May 28th of 1530 to April 14th of 1532. That's it. That's the whole time. I'm pissed. Also, it's weird that this doesn't organize them by their dates unless you... Like, I think it's organized by name unless you go over here. I would think that this would be the default way to organize it, but whatever. He didn't deserve it. That was the Queen Regent. That was our queen who ruled for, what was that, 60 years? Why am I paused right now? I'm trying to talk about this over gameplay. No, 50 years. I mean, she was great. 50 whole years out of her. Juan, the 112, he also ruled for 50 years. And then a 15-year regency, 50 years, and then a 2-year ruler. And he was really good too. I'm so mad. So mad. Still have the vote. I'm going to keep checking. as often as I can. My prestige has dropped quite a bit because it's ticking down at minus 1.72 a year, just because of the natural decay rate. I would really like a positive prestige event. Do I get? I don't get. I don't get reasons for them to vote for me from power projection. It's good to know. Oh, and then my air falls ill. Same deal here. We can pray for his life, and then he has a 75% chance of dying. Or I can lose 136 ducats and bring in a medicus who will only give me a 50% chance of him dying. And we beat the 50-50 last time. Let's see if we can do it again. Nope. We do get a new heir right off the bat, thankfully. He's not all that great, but hopefully we won't have to worry about him ever taking the throne. We're so close to getting the achievement. It's crazy. We've had like an heir and a ruler die in just like the 2 years we've been waiting for this guy to die. He's 38 now. He's gonna get there, I believe. I believe. Why is this colony not growing? Oh, it is. It is. It's just it has a 7% chance to bring in extra people, but it is still spreading at 25 a year. It is slow, and it starts out really slow. It picks up like in the late game. You're able to colonize a lot faster. Portugal's colonizing really fast because they're sending out multiple colonists at the same time. But I don't want to do that to waste money. The more colonies you have, the more each one costs. So it's like when you just have one, it costs 2. And I think going up to 2 is only 4. But like if you go up to like 5 or 6, it can cost like 20 ducats a month for all of them. It's crazy. And like you don't have to leave this colonist here. You can start the colony and recall the colonist. You won't get this new settler chance. That's from the colonist himself. But you could have him start the colony and then start another colony, and like you can have a bunch of them going. But leaving him there does bring up your settler chance higher. So that's the reason I'm doing that. I don't have any places I can explore right now. Is this out of my range? Yes. The Cape is a very good province to colonize. First of all, it's 15 development that you just send somebody and get for free. Second of all, it is a important natural harbor, which gives it a bunch of trade power. And all of the trade that comes from... You can funnel the trade up through the Gulf of Aden here into Alexandria from the East Indies and India. But you can also funnel it down around Africa. And all of the trade has to come through here if you do that. It has to go through Zanzibar, which is a trade node right here, and then into the Cape of Good Hope, and then into the Ivory Coast. And then it splits up at the Ivory Coast. So controlling the Ivory Coast and controlling the Cape are pretty important and really, really good. And we are continuing to get negative events. We can either lose 1 stability, or we can lose a bunch of ducats. And I am going to go ahead and lose a bunch of ducats. Yeah. And we lost the Trier vote for some reason. They prefer Brandenburg because my legitimacy and prestige have fallen down too far. They rate them at 313 and us at 287. I mean, we do get a negative 50 penalty for not being in the HRE. And then they also get a 5 bonus for being the same culture group. So, I mean, that's the big part of it. Currently, I still have the vote because I have 3 votes. Austria has 2 votes, and Brandenburg has 2 votes. But I'm also close to losing Cologne. And wasn't Trier mad at me for having a rival of a rival? Yeah, I'm allied to the rival. That is. I wonder if I could send them another gift. It doesn't look like they have that modifier on anymore, so maybe I want to probably bring the person back from Bohemia and go through and give another round of gifts out here in a second. Border friction. I can either have France hate me more, put a positive spin on things and lose 100 diplo power, or lose 5 prestige and we lose a claim. France can hate me all they want. I need to hire a new guy over here. we'll get the national manpower guy. I do need to look at this because there is a diplomatic rep advisor that would be very good, and I think it's this guy, and I can't recruit him because it would put them way over, unfortunately. Also, weirdly, the ministers you can recruit, like each estate has an advisor you can recruit, and the clergy even have two. But you would think that like the nobility would give you a military advisor, and the clergy would give you an administrative advisor because they have to do with taxes, and the burghers would give you a diplomatic advisor because they have to do with production and trade, which typically is tied to diplomatic points. But no, the burghers give you an administrative advisor, the clergy give you two administrative advisors, and the nobility give you a diplomatic advisor. I mean, it would just make sense to me if they were split up where you get one from each, but whatever. I did also lose the merchant I was getting from the West African Charter, unfortunately. I also have Joloff still as a protectorate, so that's cool. I haven't done anything with them in forever, but I'm also going to bring him back and send out another round of gifts. Yep, Trier is not voting for me again. Send gift. Oh, they were at 200 already. I didn't even need to send them a gift. That was silly. Then I don't have enough to send them a gift right now, but I will have enough in a second. But they... Oh no, Trier is now at 200. Mines is not... Oh jeez. Oh wait, no, I was sending out gifts of 50, wasn't I? For the full 25? Currently still have the vote, again by the razorest of thin margins. Maybe I should get rid of the Portuguese alliance and pick up the Saxony alliance. I mean, we're this close. I don't want to mess it up and have to wait for another emperor to die. Portugal. Okay, so if I were to dissolve alliance, no negative effects. But I also need to break royal ties. And I believe because we have diplomatic ideas, it's not going to cost us anything. Can't send him till the 15th of August. I will pick up this yearly prestige guy. That'll be great. At least have it tick down a little bit slower. Portugal. The reason why I also want to break the royal marriage is because having a royal marriage also keeps us in... it still takes up a relationship slot. I could just go over my relationship limit, but I don't need Portugal around anymore, so I might as well just break it. I lose 1 prestige, which is fine. And then I need to cancel military access with them, which I can do on October 2nd. Oh, they did it for me. Sweet. Now I want to go talk to Saxony. Yes, Saxony. Offer them an alliance. Why am I still... It said we... It said they canceled it. Do we have to cancel it for both sides? Probably. Cancel military access. There. Now we're not over anymore. And improve relations with them. And we have a bunch of relations we can get out of them, so hopefully we can get them up high enough to where they'd vote for us. Oh man, I'm gonna have a heart attack. He's 40. And the older you get, the more likely you are to die. That's just a simple fact of life. not to get super morbid on this video where I record myself playing video games, but I mean, every day that you live is like one less day that you have, you know? Sorry to get real with you guys right now, but that's the way the world works. Let me develop a little bit more militarily. And Madrid is a great place. It's our capital. Make Madrid great. They're getting closer. Cologne has gone from +3 to +5, so that's a net gain. Bohemia has dropped a little bit, but we're miles ahead of their next person, which would be Brandenburg. And we're pretty far ahead of Austria for mines. This could be so close. Watch it flip to where I don't win, and then the next day he dies. That's exactly what's going to happen. I'm already prepared for it. I wouldn't mind getting some a prestige event to bump that back up. Norway tells us about felt hats. Beaver fur is an excellent material for hat making. Keeps warmth in its shape, and rising demand for felt, along with the complicated process involved in making them, has led to the growth of a healthy hat-making sector in our economy. So fur is going to be more expensive for the rest of the game. Fantastic. Dramatic currency reevaluation. Oh, jeez. Another event because I'm above 5 inflation. I probably should just buy this down at this point. Although I do want to get this last administrative idea before I do that. And that gives me yearly prestige +1 from that, plus global settler increase. So I'm actually ticking up in prestige, 83 prestige. That's great. So we can either, concerned about spiraling inflation, your government strongly advises you to abandon the old coinage and begin using new, more stable currency. While beneficial in the long run, this would immediately cause severe unrest in your country, along with a loss of prestige. So we can either lose 1 stability or gain 3 inflation. Inflation is ticking down, and I could hire an advisor if I had one available to make it tick down faster. I currently do not, unfortunately. Why? Oh, yeah. I was like, I forgot why I was losing an extra diplomatic point. It's because of this this policy. This policy is also very good if I ever decide to go to war. So I can either lose 1 stab. I kind of don't want to do that. I think I'm going to gain the 3 inflation. I'm already getting the negative events from having high inflation, although it was close to going away. But we'll take that for now. New Testament translated into Spanish. With its strongly Catholic history and the identity of the Kingdom of Spain has not seen widespread interest in the Protestant Reformation. There are, however, rumors of a small group of intellectuals secretly meeting to discuss these matters in larger cities. It is therefore with some concern that news has reached our most Catholic Majesty that the New Testament has been translated into Spanish by our countryman Francisco de Enzinas. While the printing presses in Spain itself are tightly controlled by the state, it seems the printers of the Low Countries feel no obligations to protect the tender minds of our subjects. The Holy Inquisition has asked us to make an example of any Protestants they can find in our country to track down those who would bring the book into Spain, as well as any crypto Lutherans inside our borders. So we can either nip it in the bud, get missionary strength versus heretics, and tolerance of heretics -1. We have no heretics in our country. Everybody's Catholic. Or get tolerance of heretics +1 and missionary strength versus heretics -1. I'm going to take this one. Just let us convert them back faster if somebody converts to Protestantism. And yeah, doesn't really matter either way. I can also buy down my inflation with administrative power, which may be something I could do, especially now that I have finished this idea group. Although I'd like to finish this tech next. I still have the vote. Getting close to having Saxony's vote. If my prestige were higher, or my diplomatic reputation were higher, or if I was part of the HRE, I would have their vote. Actually, can I join the HRE? One thing I could do I think I could add all my provinces to the HRE. No, I have to have a bunch more relations with Brandenburg to do it. And my nation is too large to join the Empire. One thing I'm going to do... Oh, why did I stop improving with Saxony? Well, I guess one reason, even though I didn't intend it, is to get a little more relations with them through, first of all, royal marriage. Second of all, through transfer trade power. Hey, I've got their vote now. Take that, Trier. Third of all, through influence nation. And fourth of all, by sending a gift. One thing I also thought about doing, which I'm going to check here in a second after I do this. So in this interface, the diplomatic feedback interface. So it shows how much trust a country has with you, and currently I'm at 55 trust with Saxony. I'm at 50 trust with Bohemia, 55 with Cologne, 55 with Mainz, 55 with Saxony, and 55 with Trier. The way you gain favors... Oh, I'm not allied to Bohemia, that's why that's not taking up. The way you gain favors is by being allied to them and having this button clicked to join offensive wars. I don't want to join any of these little guys' offensive wars. I don't want to be called into them. So I wonder, if I were to uncheck this box, it doesn't... No, I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. It makes them... You don't gain favors with them anymore, but I don't need the favors, because all it does is allow me to either call them into a war or push the button to increase trust with them, which I think I'm going to take advantage of. Because I think the higher the trust is with them, the more they like me and the more likely they'll be to vote for me, hopefully, is the idea. But if I were to say I'm not going to join any of your offensive wars, I would stop gaining the favors. But I think I'll wait. But I thought about unchecking that just in case they went into like some stupid war and dragged me into it. We'll go ahead and wait on it. Royal marriage with Saxony, they'll transfer trade power, and we're influencing them. And I want to keep that diplomat there. 16th of June, next month. Jeez, Cologne is so close. But now that we've got Saxony, and they're much higher than even Cologne was at, so hopefully that will secure it, even if I just have these three. Improve relation, confirm, wait a month, maintain. All right, there we go. Well, that will be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It's been wonderful. You've been wonderful. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment in the comment section down below. Since we last checked up on this part of the world, Shirvan has appeared. Tell me about the glorious rebels of Shirvan who have gained their land back from the evil Karak, Yunlu, and Georgia, and Gazmuk, and even Persia. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me, and until next time, I'll see you later.